And Matthew Bell has taken a Virgin Melbourne.
Oh, goodness. Petro Seven a saver. Get that into ya. Good man. Oh, got that.
Tyrrell has been picked off by probably the tackle of the year.
Welcome back to the third week of the Hospital Pass on Phoenix Radio with myself, James, and Ruben. How are you, Ruben?
I'm good. Yourself, James?
Not too bad,
That's what we like.
It is. It is.
You were complaining about the cold this morning again, though?
I was. It is freezing, man. I just... Getting up for an 8 o'clock show.
Yeah, that's fair.
Get up at 6 is freezing. I don't want to get up.
Yep.
But this week, I thought we'd start the show off a little different.
Well, actually, before you get to that...
Oh, okay.
Do you want to give the people a little bit of a preview of what we've got coming up later, or do you want to keep them in the dark?
We'll give you a little bit of a preview.
Okay.
Right.
Well, do you want to tell the people what they've got to come to look forward to?
Okay.
Don't give too much away, though.
Coming up, we've got Question of the Week.
Yep.
Around the grounds.
Yes.
And we've actually secured somehow an interview with a future Olympian.
That's true. So make sure you stick around for that.
Yeah, make sure you stick around. That's all
And
I'll
I think
say.
the key word you put there is somehow. I don't know.
I don't know either, but we managed to, and that's it.
So, kick us off with the question of the week.
Right.
What do we have?
So for the question of the week, I thought I'd ask another question before I ask it, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Double question of the week.
Yes. So, in order, I was online doing a bit of searching for the question of the week, and I thought, money's always a massive thing in sports.
Can I just say to all those people who think we don't do work, some research.
We
there
do.
you go.
We do work, right. So money is a massive thing in sports.
Yes.
And growing up, you might be persuaded to follow or to be more involved in that certain sport. Because
especially which country you're in,
yes.
if you want to think that way.
Yes.
Because, if you are in America, let's just say, there's no way you're going to be like, I want to play rugby league.
Yeah. Well,
as opposed to other things, I would say.
That's it. So the question of the week is, if you could play one sport at a top level, what would it be? And in thinking about what sport I'd play, obviously basketball.
Yes.
Because I'm a 6-foot giant.
Yes.
No. Yeah. I thought, what is the highest paid sport in the world right now? And I found top 5 according to Sports Brief. And it's 2023 as well.
Okay.
So very recent.
Okay, so can I have a go at this?
Yes, I want you to have a go. And go from 5 to 1, 1 being the highest paid.
Okay, well, I think I've got 1.
Okay, well, do 5 to 1.
Yeah, I reckon... I don't know about the order, but I reckon I can get all 5.
Okay, well, do 5 to 1. Okay. Just because last time you had it so out of order, it was shocking.
Okay, so the last one... let me just think. I've got... Okay, let me say... Basketball?
Is your 5th? Okay, yep, go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I want to say... tennis. Then I want to say golf. Then I want to say some form of combat. So boxing, MMA, one of those.
Is your 3rd?
Is my 2nd.
Is your 2nd?
So I got basketball, tennis, golf, combat sport.
Yep.
Football, as in soccer, to everyone who's out there who doesn't know what that means.
Yeah. Okay.
I know I've got number 1 right for sure.
Well, let me tell you this. You've actually not. You've not.
Wow.
I was shocked as well. And
That could go...
you've not even mentioned one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Okay, hit me.
Which I thought this was really surprising. And
Yeah. It might make sense, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how it's right, to be honest. I was very confused.
Yes.
when I was reading it. But according to Sports Brief, so it's on them, they said 5th was football.
5th was football. 5th was football.
5th was football.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Oh, I did too as well.
Yeah. Have they seen what the Saudis are doing?
Yeah. It's meant to be 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was
You did
like,
say.
I did look at it and I was like, this can't be right.
Yeah,
and then I saw the date and I was like,
Get their phone number, be like,
I was like, look, maybe.
fact check this.
4th is golf.
Okay. I knew it would have been up there. So I'm close.
I thought golf was going to be there for sure. There's a lot of money in that.
Yep. Live golf. That's why. That's where my head was at. Yeah.
They had as third. They had NFL.
Okay.
So it is an American company, so I thought they'd put it up there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Second was boxing.
Okay.
So
I had that one
you
right.
were
One right. All right.
You were right there. And first was basketball, which is really surprising.
Okay.
So hence why I'm doing basketball.
Yeah. I should have picked up on that. No, okay. So I had what, 3?
Yeah, you had 3.
One right. Sorry, I had 4.
4. No, you got the boxing one right.
Yeah,
you had that
and I
second.
had 4 of the ones that were in there.
Yeah, you did.
Because I did have football.
You had
just
football.
said number 1.
You did. The only other one that you said was tennis, which wasn't in. It wasn't even in, which is crazy as well.
Because I feel like there's a fair bit of money in tennis.
I would have thought so too.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing though, what I was basing that off is like the Forbes highest paid athletes, and there's a fair few tennis people in there, but I think that's more like there's the prize money that you win, but then there's the sponsorships and stuff. So I don't know whether that's probably not going to be counting in that.
Yeah, it's probably not counted. It's probably just the comp itself.
Yeah.
So Wimbledon or...
But I will say, no way is NFL
bigger than football.
I
thought so too. I thought they were wrong.
Because NFL is played in America only, and you can't tell me there's more money in that than worldwide football. Surely not. Surely not.
Look, I was shocked to read it as well, so I thought it'd be fun to bring it on.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was very well. And knowing all this,
yeah.
What sport would you play at a top level?
If I had to play at the top level, well, I've played soccer for a long time, and I've always been interested in that. And I reckon if I could get to the top level, I'd want to play for Australia and win our first World Cup.
Nice.
Because I reckon that'd be pretty cool. Because I feel like Australia is one of, if not the best sporting country in the world. If you think about it across multiple different sports.
We're quite good at a lot of sports.
Yeah. Even, well, obviously not the stuff that like it's like specialty to other countries like NFL or gridiron or whatever you want to call it.
Imagine when they add that to the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
The Americans are just going to clean up.
But like everything else, like we're pretty decent at the Olympics. Obviously, we're really good at the Commonwealth Games because there's not the big countries in there. But we like cricket, all that other stuff, and
swimming.
Yeah, we're decent at soccer. Like we've won the Asian Cup. We keep making the World Cup, and the last one was really encouraging to watch because even though we didn't end up making it through, we did do like our best, if our second best or our ever best performance at a World Cup. And that game that we lost to against Argentina, I watched that game, and if that game gets played 10 times, we win 2 out of those 10 times. Yeah,
it was really promising going forward, I think, obviously.
And I'm not a fan of, and we'll probably talk about this in a later show, but I'm not a fan of the 4-4-2. I hate that formation. It's so basic. But
we want 5 at the back.
No, that's worse. Okay, that's basically parking the bus without parking the bus, honestly. And I say this because there was the Summer League over in the PL. Brighton played Chelsea a couple of days ago, and I watched the game. We lost 4-3 with a red card, so it's still pretty promising. But we were playing 5 at the back after we got red card, and I didn't like that. I did not like that.
Yeah, but you got a red card. That's expected.
But so what I was saying back to the game against Argentina, our 4-4-2 was very structured, and you could see it was breaking them down. Yes, we're doing a lot of defending, but it was really hard for them to get through.
It was very structured, and that was actually really good to see. Like, we do have a couple of, for Australia standards, standout players, but we really work better as a team.
Yeah. I think the thing also was that at that World Cup, we actually managed to score some goals from free play, which was really nice to see, as opposed to, look, Jedinak scores another penalty. Like, that doesn't show we got attacking prowess. Like, when, Lecky's scoring and Duke's scoring, then it's like, okay, now we got a chance because you got to score to win. You can't just do draws and then win on penalties or something like that. Yeah.
So, we're going to say football.
Yeah,
and we're going to say, so for the Socceroos, is like, if you could, that's your dream.
That would be my dream, yeah, to play at the World Cup and win the first ever World Cup for Australia.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. It was a good experience.
So for basketball though, where would you want to go? I mean, obviously there's the obvious one, but other than that, and when I say obvious,
I'm swapping basketball. I think purely, if it was going off myself right now, I'm not tall enough for basketball, so I can't do that. But I'd do golf.
Well,
I think I'd do golf.
Okay, true, but also have a look at Isaiah Thomas. That guy's like, I don't know what it is, 5'8" or something.
That's true, but he's a freak. Dude, his jumping's insane.
Also, if you look at like guys like Patty Mills and whatever next to someone like Jokic or whatever, they make Patty Mills look really short, and you're like, how's this short guy playing? And then he's like, oh, he's actually 6'2".
Yeah,
Never mind. Just because he's standing next to a 7-foot giant,
I'd have no chance. But I think I could have a hot crack at golf.
yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
Well, I mean, get some money in that.
Yeah, a
too.
bit of coin in it.
Yeah.
I was behind it a little bit. You know, do the live circuit a bit, get paid.
So what would be to play at the highest level? What would be the ultimate goal playing?
I think to win a PGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most. Well, when I was watching, what's that Netflix doco they did? Full Swing.
Oh yes.
That was really good, but you could see like a lot of them, like what they aspired, if not they'd already accomplished, was the PGA, and when they won that, that was the top of everything.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I think in seeing that, I think that's it.
Also, it's at the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, one of those.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be pretty decent.
To the Olympics, I'm pretty sure.
Australia in that. Grab us another gold. Wouldn't be too bad.
Not against it.
Yeah.
That'd be good. But yeah, so I think I'd do golf. If I had a second choice, I think I'd do football.
Yeah.
I think World Cup's pretty insane. To win the Premier League would be better,
Yeah.
I think. Imagine winning the Premier League with your club that you've supported for all these years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
It is different too, because a lot of leagues, well, and even the one here in Australia, the AA League, it's not first past the post. And I feel like that is a lot harder to do, and you feel a lot better after winning that, knowing you had to be so good across the entire season as opposed to being all right, sneaking into the finals, and then beating the teams, which is also good in itself. Because then you're when it comes to crunch time, we're playing well, but also just to be so good across.
Yeah, I think across the seasons,
in the PL, you got to play. How many comps you're in, so it's the depth and playing lots of games in 1 week or however many you have to play.
Yeah, no, that's it. But yeah, I think if I could, I think that's what I'd choose.
Yeah.
But funny enough that we none of us had said, was it NRL?
Yeah.
Or the NBL?
Yeah. Yeah. If I had to pick a second one, then it would be NRL and it would be State of Origin, because I think that's the second biggest. Well, not the second biggest, but that's one of the biggest sporting events in Australia.
State of Origin, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
The only other thing that would come close in terms of how big it would be is, I would say, maybe the Ashes. Would you say?
Yeah. For some reason, I thought Bathurst, but now I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's definitely not as big as...
No, it wouldn't be. Bathurst is big, but if you're thinking about across Australia, who would be the most hype for the sports event? Would it be...
Origin's big, like... in Queensland, New South Wales.
And is that it?
Yeah, well, and obviously other states. But
not as much, though.
It's not as much.
No.
So across Australia, I wonder...
So would you say Ashes is the biggest? This is like the third question of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly the Ashes could be. Yeah.
Personally, I'm more into NRL, so I'd say State of Origin, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Is cricket bigger? Because I feel like that's also been around for longer.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think,
no?
yeah. I don't think all states are probably semi-interested in cricket.
Yeah.
Whilst everyone's probably divided between NRL and AFL, so it's like...
Yeah, like, who in WA is going to be, like, give that much of a thought to who's going to win State of Origin this year? No
That's
one.
it, yeah. I wouldn't think a lot.
No.
Who knows, honestly.
There might be someone.
One of the only few over there.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. All right, so that was the question of the week. Let us know what you think as well. If you could play one sport at the top level, what would it be?
Yeah, let us know on the social media, on Phoenix Radio social
100%.
media, and yeah.
Exactly. All right, we'll be back with Around the Grounds in just a moment. How good's the NRL at the moment?
It's good. It is a hot comp at the moment. Any team can win.
Pretty
as
much
we
so.
saw on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh,
So let's start with our expert tips.
not
As
so
they
expert
good.
tips.
Not so. But
We did quite well.
We were right on the Dragons.
Yes.
What did we say last week? We said you got to go the Dragons because they're just that little bit better than the West Tigers, and you can't really see them getting over the Dragons. Well, at least that's what my head was.
They're both as bad as each other, but like I couldn't think Dragons losing to the Tigers.
I'll tell you this though, which you might find interesting. So that game was at Dragons' home ground. They haven't won a game away in the last. They're 0-9 from their last 9 away games.
0-9.
Yeah. So next away game they have.
They're playing home this weekend. Don't worry. That would have been an easy tip, guys.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was about to say, if you actually want an expert tip, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. See, I was doing some research as well. I was also doing some work.
The second game we had for this round was Warriors and Raiders, which we were divided on this. I thought Raiders just maybe.
Yep.
Strong forward back.
I went Warriors because of what happened with the Sharks last week, and I was like, I'm not going to get it done twice.
I know, such a close game. And the Warriors won just by 1.
In extra time, 21-20. Killer. Because the Warriors did have it. Then they blew it in the last 5 minutes. Absolute choke. And then they iced it. So, bit of a roller coaster, however you want to look at that.
Yeah, it was very emotional roller coaster there. I thought, oh yes, I've finally got another one up.
Yeah.
But no. No. But that was a really good game, and like the first 3 games of this week were really good, or last week I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
And on Friday night we had Rabbitohs versus Broncos.
Yes.
Which was good. Adam Reynolds, former team.
Yep. Killed them.
Flogged
pretty
them.
much so.
Flogged them. Yeah. He played out of his skin.
And I tell you what, some people were saying Rabbitohs to be one of the premiership favourites at the beginning of this year. Sit 9th now.
Mm.
And that's mainly, they were 8th, I think, at the beginning of last week before the round, and that's why I was like, Broncos over them, especially, even though they were like really good teams and they both had a ton of people coming back. They didn't get Mitchell though, so there's that factor thinking there as well.
He's still out.
But they dropped out now, so they currently sit. No, they're on the same points as the Eels.
Yeah, so they're 9th, Eels are 8th. Yeah.
But the 2 teams, Cowboys and Eels, let's go the Cowboys, who are in the 8, they also have one bye to come as well, as long as it's the same as the Rabbitohs. So they got no room there. I'm
just looking at top 4 right now. It's actually quite different than former years. Like 4th is Storm, which is pretty standard.
But you'd feel like that's a little bit below where they would like to be, especially if you look at this week's game.
Especially if you're Craig Bellamy, you'd expect to be first.
Yes,
but,
you would be.
No, it's quite good for them. Yes. But 3rd, you've got Warriors, which is that's insane, especially after last season.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love to see them back at Mount Smart Stadium, back in
that grand
New Zealand.
final at Mount Smart.
Oh. I mean, that would be all right.
Dreams.
Have you seen when they played the Super Rugby final over there?
Yeah, see all the pitch formations.
It's different over there.
That's it. 2nd is Broncos, which is really good for them. Yeah. I honestly think for a Queensland team, I'll back them, even though I'm a Titans supporter. But if I have to back them in the finals, I will. I hope they win it. Yeah. And then Panthers 1st, which is
they look good, don't they?
They even look better now with Cleary.
Yeah, like yesterday's game. I mean, yes, the Bulldogs are 2nd from the bottom.
It is the Bulldogs,
but.
We'll see.
They were clinical.
We'll see going on to next week where they play
the Sharks. So that's a massive game for the Sharks because yet again this year the Sharks they haven't not been beaten a top 4 side.
They're still a very strong side though.
I know, but
I feel like
if you can't beat a top 4 side,
I feel like they're the bullies. They're the bullies of the people below the top 4.
Oh yeah, they just kill them.
Kill them. Yeah. But it comes to top 4 and then they get smashed. Yeah, so I think they're like the gatekeepers.
Yes. Well, having said that, they lost to the Seagulls yesterday, which were outside, which was
I took the Seagulls. Just putting it out there.
That's true.
I was very, very, very excited for that game.
Yeah.
But so moving on to the 4th game, we had Titans versus Roosters.
I mean, I didn't see that coming, but
we both tipped Titans. Yeah. So, but
the Roosters have bounced back. I don't know whether that's going to save their season though, because they're still sitting 12th, but. Because if it's so close, they're only a couple of games out. If they can get a roll on, Broncos this week for them, though.
We'll get into it, but
I think we all know what's happening.
I don't think so. But I was with the Titans game. I saw the first couple of tries come in, and I was like, all right. I'm walking away from the TV. Yes. Came back later. We scored a couple, but it's just classic Titans.
Yeah.
It was a bad game to watch.
After the last couple of weeks, sorry.
Yeah, we've struggled really bad. But with one of the upsets following that game,
mate,
how good. Now I stuck around for that game, that's for sure. I watched all of that one.
Saying before about it was a bit under par for the Storm because this game happened.
Yeah, the Knights versus Storm.
Yeah.
Where the Knights snagged the win.
Yeah.
But as we said a little bit earlier, the red card. Oh, not red card. The send off.
Yeah.
That was it. That was a real turning point for the game.
It was. It really was.
Which was stupid by who was it? Tarek Sims.
Yeah.
Such a stupid send off.
Yeah, it was. And then you could see after that, they were just the Knights. They had the wind behind them. They were confident.
They looked good off it. Bradman Best looking even. He's hitting the runner. He's hitting such good form.
To the Origin. Honestly, when people were like, "Oh, a bit of a surprise selection," the dude's been good for like a fair while now.
Yeah, but I think he's always been good. But I think the Origin really put a spotlight on him, and now post Origin, he's just playing out of his skin. He's doing really well.
Got Ponga inside him, Marzio outside him. Sorry, Ponga inside him, Marzio outside.
Yeah, that try with Marzio, the one that he picked it up. So if you guys didn't see it, it was in the second half. Bradman Best
near the end.
Yeah. Was it Stormers sliding defence? Bradman Best is taking 2 on, and he's passed it like mid falling to the ground, and the ball's only very close to the ground. And the winger has picked it up without dropping it mid-air and has put it down. And it's a good try. It is a really good try. Honestly,
though these days that's just.
It's pretty standard.
Pretty
standard
Sunday for a winger.
I'd say that's up there for like contesting for one of the best tries for the week. Honestly, like that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
and then the next game of the round.
All right, very chirpy now.
Yeah. Well, people were telling me during the week, you guys have got stuff to worry about. We're at home, okay? We've got as good as a home record as the Dragons have away. Okay. Pretty much so.
No.
And that was with. Valentine Holmes was sent to the bin, and I want to know what you thought about that. Did you see that? His shot that got to the centre of the bin. Okay, so
I didn't actually see that. Right? Yeah, run it through.
So, end of the first half, I can't remember what the score was, but the Eels are doing a shift to the right side. Moses gets the ball. Valentine Holmes flies out, creams him, great shot, loses the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the referee on the field calls it as a drop ball for... As in, so it's our ball.
Looks over and goes, nice, mate.
Yeah, pretty much so, right? And then I think they challenged it, as in the Eels challenged that call, goes upstairs, and the bunker's like, that's forceful contact to the head. But it wasn't like a shoulder charge or anything.
Where's he hit, though? He's hit the chest?
Pretty much so. And then as he's slammed into him...
come up a little
No, not really.
higher.
Maybe his shoulder hit his face or whatever. But it was a fairly decent shot.
Yeah, there's enough force behind that.
Yeah.
And so they've said that that's
forceful into the head. Oh. So, like, you saw the Tarek Sims one, right?
Yeah.
It was not that.
That was brutal.
Sims was 100% gone.
Yeah. That was brutal.
The Holmes one, that was just a good shot in my opinion. And that's coming from very biased Cowboys.
I was about to say.
But I did hear some other commentators saying they thought that was a bit on the edge.
Bit so-so?
Yeah. So... I mean, didn't bother us.
I was about to say, you guys still did well.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering you're a down player.
We're on a roll, and I'm pretty sure we got to play the Titans this week.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
And, Titans are bound to bounce back. It's our game.
One of these weeks.
Hopefully it's this week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hopefully not. And then, like we said before, Panthers. I mean,
touched up the
18
Bulldogs.
for the Bulldogs. That makes them look all right. But they were not there at all.
No, the Bulldogs they're such a weird squad. They've got, like, individually, they've got a very stacked roster.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, for some reason...
It's like they've got all the ingredients, but they have not put it together properly.
No.
Not really.
Yeah, it's half-baked.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Yeah, you see them on the weekend or on Friday.
Like, they have the squad, if that was clicking, to be pushing the top 8, but they are just...
Yeah,
not doing that at the
moment.
moment.
Bowden, you got, was it Avilo?
Yeah,
he's good.
Carraz, Flanagan's come back. He's all right at the moment. Yeah, they got.
Even
Adokar.
Adokar. Adokar's getting older, but he's still, he's still a decent enough winger. Like, it's not like they're missing. They've got the right people in the key roles. They just for some reason they can't just mush it together and,
Lots of people, and even I thought maybe this would have been a better year for the Bulldogs, but I mean maybe next year.
Oh God.
Again.
Like the Titans
Keep
maybe
waiting,
next year. Yeah. That's it.
That's
and then, so for the last game of the round, we had a Sharks play Seagulls, which we just said a little earlier.
Yeah.
Seagulls won. Only just.
Also, that's the 30-26, which was the score Seagulls up. That makes the Sharks look like they were playing well. But that first half, which they were down like 24-0 or whatever, mate, the Sharks looked like they were the Bulldogs for a second there. Honestly. Nothing was happening. Yeah. And they were at home too. It was at Shark Park, and it was like,
yeah, that's
what's
weird.
happening?
They're really strong at home too. So that's weird. No, that's a huge game for the Seagulls to win, especially going into this week where they're versing the Dragons this week. So maybe 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row. They win again. 25 points. If the Eels go down to the Storm, they're in. Unless the Rabbitohs beat the West Tigers, which I mean, it's just spoiling the round here.
I'd love to see the odds on that one.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
Actually, do you want to?
Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. So for next round,
West Tigers are $9.30 and the Rabbitohs are $1.06.
Jesus. Yeah, so
that's what.
So basically, Tigers to win this week. This is what you're saying.
Exactly. I'm saying
right,
Tigers.
Load up. You heard it.
Seasons, they're back. All right. Nah.
Right. So we'll do our tips this week.
Yeah. At the moment, still from last week.
What's the standings?
Your boys up 11.
Only by one. Only by one. That's all right.
I did think I was like, this season, this round was all right for me, but then, no, not really.
No.
pretty much same all around.
That's
unfortunately.
It. Yeah. So for this round.
Yes.
I have chosen.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to win after this round.
Okay.
Guaranteed. This is going to set us apart.
All right. Okay.
It will.
I feel like
it will. It's only
sure. Okay.
It will. It's week 22. You know, there's only 5 more rounds after this.
Yeah, unless we do finals as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be maybe even harder than.
Yeah, God,
there's only like 4 games.
That'd be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll sort that out.
So first game, Broncos v Roosters. This one's at the Gabba, which is it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it is at the Gabba, isn't it?
Because Suncorp's being used
for the Women's World Cup,
which we'll be talking about a little bit later.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think both Broncos on that one.
I was about to say
Reece Walsh is back. They're just going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, Broncos full steam ahead.
Couple of weeks ago when they didn't have Walsh and they lost a couple of games, and a couple of people were like, "Oh, are they going to be doing last year?" I did a ladder prediction because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is not true. Even when you make them tank terribly and other teams win, they still only finish like 7th. So yeah, they're gonna finish in the top 2.
No, yeah. Honestly, I'm saying I think maybe potentially Broncos Panthers final.
Yeah, I reckon.
If everything goes as it is right now, I think
Storm's a little bit off the pace unless they just kill it during the clutch time. But I reckon Panthers, Broncos, maybe the Warriors, and then the Cowboys are the premiership contenders.
See, is Storm that good in come finals though? Is Storm that good? Or
I wouldn't say overly like, oh, they're good.
Yeah, I wouldn't rave about them. I look at Panthers and I go, yeah, they're pretty clutch.
Yeah.
Come finals, they're pretty switched on.
Clutch. The big games as well.
See, I think,
and they're going to have them all at home pretty much.
Yeah,
Panthers.
I don't know. I think Storm.
If it stays the way it is, Panthers Storm week 1.
Yeah,
that'd be one to watch for sure.
So both Broncos on that one.
Yep.
For the second game, it is Tigers versus Rabbitohs. I'm pretty confident with both them Rabbitohs. Unless
No, I'm good, thanks.
Unless someone wants to make some money, but
no, I don't need the West Tigers.
Right, and then the third game we've got is Storm versus Eels. I think Storm will bounce back. As we said, it was the send off that really was the turning point for that game.
Yeah.
And
if Sims doesn't get sent off, close game, Storm wins.
Yeah, I think Storm win. And Craig Bellamy's probably giving them the sprayed of their life. Yeah. So I'm sure they don't want to make him upset again.
No one's going to make a tackle like that again.
No. Yeah, no. I'll be surprised if he's actually starting, to be honest. So I reckon Storm.
Yeah. Well, actually, Sims, he's got 4 weeks coming his way from that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because when I report. Ooh,
yeah. So he's.
Wonder what it's going to be. What the judges is going to be.
Well, that's what I reckon.
4 weeks.
Something like that. It'll be a fair bit. For sure.
Oh, yeah, good, yeah. Oh, yeah. As we said, it was intense. It was pretty bad. I don't know what went through his head, but anyway. So for the fourth game of the round is Raiders versus Knights. Now, this is a very interesting one.
Yes,
because as we say, Raiders were very unfortunate to lose.
They're back at home this week.
That's it. They're back at home. And Knights, they're
in some form at the moment. They found big high confidence after that win against the Storm.
They want to make it.
I'll say Raiders, though.
You're saying Raiders?
Yeah.
See, I've done Knights.
Okay.
I really think Knights,
Well,
coming off that win, I think expectations are pretty high for them, and I think they'll do well.
yeah. I feel like I say Raiders with some level of confidence, but at the same time...
They're strong at home.
Yeah.
It's a very 50-50.
yeah.
They're a strong team,
Yeah.
and I mean, I chose them last week because their
This
forward
season,
pack's
though,
just
not a
ridiculous.
lot of teams
but-
lose a fair few on the trot.
Yeah, that
Not
is
really.
true. It's very.
Besides the teams at the bottom is what I'm
that's the
saying.
West Tigers
Yeah,
or Dragons,
Yeah.
but
And the Rabbitohs at the moment.
no. So
been
you
dropping
chose
here.
Raiders.
Raiders,
Raiders. All right.
yes.
We'll go with Knights that one, and then it's Dragons versus Seagulls.
I'm back on the Seagulls boat.
Yeah, I was about to say you have to be Seagulls there. Panthers versus Sharks, which will be a tough one.
I reckon Panthers decently.
Decent.
I don't think the Sharks are clicking at the moment. Yes, they came back in that game yesterday.
Did you see actually in that Sharks game this week? It was a disallowed try, but it was Nico passing it to the winger, and they said it was forward, but it was
Katoa's.
yeah maybe.
Yeah,
and
it was. I did see that.
It was very. I didn't think it was forward.
They were blowing up about it.
Yeah, I don't think it was forward.
There was the first angle they showed. It looked back. The second one made it look forward.
Yeah.
So can I just say harking back to our first week about my rule about fixing up the forward passes?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because if you did have something there to be able to make a ruling on that,
And they tried to challenge it, but what can you do? And then the ref was just like, no, don't talk to my sideline officials. And just going on.
they're a bit like that, eh?
Yeah, they're very touchy, hey? You can't really say much.
No.
So for the second last game is Bulldogs versus the Finns. They're finally back.
They are.
They're fresh.
Yes.
I think it's the Finns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. This one's actually...
So
this one's up in Bundaberg. They're taking a game to Bundaberg, which should be...
What's this one? The Finns.
Yeah.
It's in Bundaberg.
Yeah. So that'd be a bit
good.
of a hike for the Bulldogs, and even better for the Dolphins, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Good conditions.
Yeah.
Out of water.
Okay.
So for the last game is a very controversial one.
Yeah, okay. If you think so.
It's the Titans versus the Cowboys.
I'm telling you, we're on a roll here. We got the full squad back. We're clicking.
Look, I just can't be a plastic fan. I think we might lose. I'm not going to deny, but look, I think Titans.
Well, I've got
to back it. It can't be 3 in a row, can it?
I've seen our run home as in the Cowboys, and there's a lot of derby games coming up, and then we got I think the Panthers in the last week, like the last week, which I really do like because I like playing a real tough game before going into the finals. Get your team in the right headspace.
Yeah.
And come in strong.
Mm.
I think so.
Yeah, I do think Titans win this one. It'll be... I reckon it won't be by much. It'll be a very close game. I mean, look, best case scenario, we are winning. It will be a very close game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Surely they can't lose another golden point, though. Because Cowboys are pretty decent when we get to that.
I was going to say, you guys do well when it's towards the end of the game. Who is it? Chad Townsend who takes yours? Yeah.
Pretty much so. Or Holmes.
Yeah, it's true.
Our first halves are like, we're not even there.
Will he be playing after he send off, Holmes?
Yeah, there's nothing in that.
No.
Nothing in that.
No, I'm going to swap up.
If he does,
I don't think there is anything in there. But for this game, I think he.
No.
He can't play this game.
If he gets,
for sure.
if he gets a week or something, I'll call out our man Graham Ainsley and be like, "Yo, okay, there wasn't anything in it. Give me a hand up here."
I don't know. Just still take him out for this game.
Okay, whatever.
Tactical takeout.
You can't do that. It's cheating. I'll tell you what was really interesting, though. Moving on to a different sport, the F1 yesterday.
Yeah,
so
the
really
qualifying was good. We saw Hamilton.
Yeah,
he won the qualifying, and then Piastri,
finished
the Aussie,
fourth in the qualifying.
Yeah,
and then the race was this morning.
Was early this morning, yes. And
he was fifth.
Yeah, it was Verstappen. So just to run you down, Verstappen was first, second off the top of my head. Norris got second.
Yeah.
Which, what did they say? It was like his sixth or 8th place.
Finishing. On the podium.
Yeah, on the podium. Podium finish. Third was Perez. That's right.
Who had to come from like 6 or 7.
Hamilton was fourth, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And
Hamilton was fourth.
Piastri, which is really good
for him. Yeah,
beautiful. He was driving pretty well too, as well.
Yeah, as we said, McLaren after Monaco, where they saw everyone else's flaws. I'm just saying they've.
Oh no, they didn't. From a McLaren spokesperson's point of view, no. That was our own decisions.
Yeah,
solely the boys back in the factory. Well done.
Yeah,
the cameraman even better. Well done.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they were best friends with the cameraman after that.
Boom.
Like, oh, can you just send us that video?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, the F1 this morning was pretty good. It was such a good.
And then our man, Danny Ricciardo, first race back, qualifying, finished 13th.
But he did well, though.
And then
after the first...
finished 13th as well.
So first corner, Danny got taken out a bit. And then he got a penalty, didn't he? And then he did well to come back and go 13th.
Yeah.
So...
absolutely brilliant. Well, we'll be back with a special interview in just a moment. Now, for the first ever time, breakdancing will make its debut as an Olympic sport at the Paris 2024 Games.
Although you probably know what breakdancing is, we thought, why not give you some background on the sport and hype it up before it graces the world stage in literally a year in 2 days' time.
Literally on the dot. And what better way to introduce you to this high-octane sport than talking to a very seasoned breaker who has put a whole new meaning to the phrase, been there, done that. And I'm talking of Leah Clark, who's from right here in Brisbane, and her list of achievements, mate, it's longer than Sandy's Christmas list. She's represented Australia at events, she's won national titles, done a whole bunch of other stuff, and I could read it out, her list of achievements, for the next couple of hours, but you know what? I don't have to, because I'm very pleased to say that Leah joins us on the line right now. Leah, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Now, let's start right back at the beginning. How did you first discover and get into breaking in the first place?
I actually was studying music and I was a bit of a punk rocker, so completely disassociated with hip-hop or any of that culture. And I went and saw a band many, many years ago, and they had some breakers supporting them as the support act. And I'd never seen breaking before in front of me, and I was just like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And from that moment, I went on a mission to learn how to do it.
Yeah. So you've been breaking for the better part of 20 years, and I just want to know what's kept you in the sport.
I think it's just the physicality of it. I love flipping around. I love being upside down. I love the community of breaking. So breaking's like such a culture and it's such a social sport, I guess. It's such a great place to hang out with your friends and train and compete and challenge yourself. So I think that's probably what's kept me going. Plus, I also make a career out of it. So if
that
I
helps.
stop doing it, I kind of don't have a job. Yeah.
Very nice. So over your career, you've done so many different things, and a couple I mentioned at the start, but one of those things was that you've been involved in a number of movies and TV shows. Can you talk us a little bit through how you got those roles and what it was like being a part of those productions?
Yeah, well, I studied stunts, so I was a stunt actor for a long time, and I've always kind of been known as the flip girl. So even through high school, I got a couple of small movie parts as the girl who can flip across the stage. So that kind of started my film interest, and then studied to be a stunt actor, and then got a bunch of roles. My longest role was on Prank Patrol as the ninja. So I'm always just the person that's covered up and you can't see their face, but I'm the one flipping around upside down.
That's so cool. You're also the manager of the Brisbane Heat's Hype Crew, which you've been doing since the league started. How did this opportunity come about?
Yeah, their engagement manager reached out to us over a decade ago and said, hey, we want something different that's not like typical cheerleading stuff at sports games. And I was like, I gotcha, like breaking's so cool. And it's so gender neutral, like it's engaging for everyone to watch. And it was something really different back then. A lot of the sports teams now have taken on our concept, but our Hype Crew, it was the first time that they'd kind of flipped things up and had something a little bit different than your typical kind of cheer group. So, we go around and we hype up the teams and we flip around and engage the fans. And, we've been doing that for about 10 years.
So do you feel like the other teams in the Big Bash have just copied you guys then?
They totally have.
Yeah. the Perth Scorchers or whatever, they've got their cheer squad. I swear they've just literally taken whatever you guys have done.
Yeah, I get that feedback a bit.
Yeah, very nice. So, have you got any feedback from like the Heat players or the fans? Like, what do they think about what you guys do?
They love it. Like, I'm not surprised that we go back every year, but I'm like, I wonder when they're going to change things up and maybe go different options dancing. But like every year we go back, especially because we've been with the Heat for so long, the fans have grown up. So even on our last season, which was our 10th anniversary, there was kids there that were like 6 when we met them, and they're now 16. So they're snapping Instagram with us, and we've watched them grow up. So, yeah, I mean, they love it. It's something a little bit different, but it's kind of a bit relevant to sport as well. Yeah,
very nice. Now, let's move a little bit more back into breaking. And I was watching some highlights last week, and I did get down a bit of a rabbit hole because it was really intriguing. But what I found really interesting was that some of the competitions, everybody is really, really close because you're performing in like a small space and then you're literally surrounded by all the fans and the other competitors, which looks insane. What is the atmosphere like at those competitions?
Yeah, I mean, those more intimate jams that's the vibe that we want. Sometimes when you get to those larger competitions, you do feel a little bit distant from the stage and the audience. I know some of the larger events I've competed at overseas, it's just been so massive that it feels really distant and daunting, and you don't really feel connected to what you're doing. But, I mean, our dance form started in a cypher, started in a circle as a party dance, and we feed off the energy of people that are around us. So any event where you've got that audience and everyone around you really close makes you feel, like the energy of the room, so you dance better. But, I mean, there's different styles of competitions now, but our dance form, like I said, started in a cypher, and that's, where it feels its most authentic. Yeah.
So for these competitions, what sort of training do you do?
I mean, I'm training most days now, leading into my preparation for the Olympic qualifiers. And, everyone trains a little bit different. We've got crews that we train with, like friends. We have community nights. So, I mean, I do a little bit of training at home on my own on the days I can't get into the studio. So most days leading into big events.
Very nice. Now, just before we move on, and, if there's anyone out there who doesn't really know what we're talking about in terms of breaking, if they're living under a rock, how would you explain the sport to someone who has never, ever heard of breaking before?
I guess if you're watching a video, it's nothing like people imagine it to be from what it was back in the 80s. And I think that's the challenging thing, is to try and get people's mentality that it's not the same as what it was back in the 80s when it was on telly. It's totally evolved. It's a really athletic dance style. It encompasses musicality and creativity and concepts and character. And I guess the cool thing about it is it's unique to the dancer. So we don't have like a technical style that we have to do perfectly. It's all about being unique and being individual. So every dancer you're going to see is going to dance a different way. And that's probably the funnest way about it, self-expression. But it's, dynamic and acrobatic. I don't know how you would explain it to someone who hasn't seen it.
So just talking about the Olympics a little bit more, who do you think our main competition will be?
Oh, look, Europe has some of the best dancers in the world. So does Japan and Korea. But America's stepping up as well. So, it's, I was talking to my husband last night about, because we're watching some skateboarding and what are the countries that are on top. And it's funny, in breaking, especially within the guys and the girls scenes as well, they're from different countries. So we've got the whole world we're up against at the moment. There's not one country in particular.
Yeah, that's fair. How well do you think we'll fare up in breakdancing in the Olympics? Do you think we'll do pretty well?
I think we'll do well if we can get there. I think our biggest challenge is Australia's so far away from every competition that we've got. So at the moment, our Australian team, we're having to just dig into our pockets and invest our own money to get to these World Series events. I just spent $4,000 on a ticket to Portugal, which is the most expensive plane flight I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah, whoa.
So, for us, it's a challenge because we're so far away from the countries that are hosting these qualifying events. And then for Australia to host our Oceania Championships, which is our Olympic qualifier this year, we still have to get one major sponsor on board because we need to bring 11 international judges out. to judge this event. You can imagine the cost of 11 internationals. Yeah, so it's different if you're in, Europe and you've got a country that's a 45-minute drive away, but Australia is just so distant. So that's our biggest challenge is, where we are situated.
But if we do end up qualifying for the Olympics, how well do you think we'll do?
I think we'll do pretty well. Yeah, our Australian breakers have been competing internationally for years and years and years and representing really well. So obviously having our two best male and female athletes going over, we'll just have to wait and see.
Very nice. That gives us a good confidence for next year to be watching. Now, you are the owner of Elements Collective, which is your dance studio in Brisbane. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I started EC 13 years ago. I returned back from a big tour that I'd been in Europe, and I just didn't want to go back to just teaching at all these different spaces in Brissy. So I wanted to start my own creative piece. So I formed that. I've now taken over the entire venue. It's a multifaceted creative space and events venue in Fortitude Valley. We run classes and workshops and training sessions, and we hire the space out for people to use as well.
Yeah. So if people want to find more about you in the studio, what's the best way to do that?
Jump on to elementscollective.com.au. Check us out. Give us a follow. You can follow my journey on my Instagram at BigGirlFlix, Flix. And, give us a follow. Show some support. Help us get overseas.
And just for any future breakdancers, any advice?
Stick with it. Get a good trainer, get to a good class, come to our community events, get involved in the scene. And, it takes a little bit of time to get to the skill level, I guess, of the Olympics. But, breaking is one of those things that, once you start it, you kind of want to stick with it. So, that's my best advice is stick it out, train hard. Yeah.
Very nice. Back to now, before we finish up, and thanks very much for your time today, I think there is one question that we haven't asked yet, which I think everyone wants to know, and that is, what is your go-to song when it's crunch time during a competition?
Oh, I don't have one favourite song, but anything by James Brown is always a good hit.
Okay, very nice. So when you need to get some points, you're hitting a James Brown song. Is that how it is?
Yeah, that's going to get me revved up.
Very nice. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Leah, and good luck with your upcoming comps and the qualifying for the Olympics. Hopefully you guys can get the funding together, and we definitely hope to see Australia and you breaking the house down in Paris.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
There we go. So are you hyped for breaking at the 2024 Paris Games?
Very hyped.
Very nice.
Very hyped.
Well, that's about us for the show today.
That is it.
So thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you all next week.
That's it. Catch you next week, guys.